Welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Hey, what's up? Hope everyone is having a really great week or weekday, depending on when I get this video up. But just sending you cheer and positive words. So before we get into the positive note, let's just drink to this. This mug is very important. It not only holds my H2O, but it also holds a very important message. It says, don't hurry, be happy. It has a sloth on it. I found this at Marshall's and I thought, this is so cute, and I like sloth. So I think this is a good reminder that we have to take our time, no matter what it is or how important something needs to get done, is to take your time. You take your time, you're able to act and consider all your options very easily and not impulsively. And let's get into my positive note. So in my positive note, always keep a gentle self. When you keep a gentle self, you're able to be very loving, very caring, and very patient with yourself. A lot of time we get in the mindset that we have to be a certain way in order to impress others, become maybe perfectionistic in our own self-standards, seeking approval, and also being able to feel that we fit in with the world around us. But taking a gentle approach teaches us that we have to be kind to ourselves. No one can be more kinder to us but us as a person. We have to do that for ourselves, because if we expect others to be gentle to us, that is a given, but that is not, a privilege. People could still, continue to not want to be gentle to us, but we still have to find a way to be gentle to ourselves, no matter what that situation may be and what may occur from it. And just think about, gentleness is just like a form of self-care. You want to make sure that every day you have a very positive start of the day. You do something that you love. The first thing you open up your eyes in the morning, you think about what it is you're looking forward to. What's that very first thing you need to do? Whether you get out of bed and maybe you put on some music, or maybe you go to the kitchen and prepare your breakfast, or maybe you just meditate or you journal. All the little things are added factors to being gentle to yourself. So be kind to yourself, be loving, be respectful to yourself, and when you're respectful to yourself, you are able to be respectful to others. So with that positive note, let me get into this video. So today I decided to let's see if this works. So I happen to be in Target and I'm looking at the Sonia Kashuk accessories, because now there's no makeup displayed in Target any longer. It's just pretty much her makeup bags, her makeup tools, her sponges, sharpeners, eyelash curlers, all of those types of things, brush sets. Those are the only things that you can really buy. And then speaking of sharpeners, if you ever want to really look for a really good sharpener, buy from Sonia Kashuk. I bought this sharpener some years ago, and it works so well with sharpening my pencil. It has a dual, I'll bring it up close to you, it has a dual hole, one for a bigger pencil and one for a smaller pencil, and it works so good. It doesn't chew up my pencil, and that's one of my pet peeves. I don't like when my pencils get chewed up. But back to the sponge. So I came across the Sonia Kashuk Makeup Sponge Duo, which are these right here. So these sponges will probably run you around like $7.99. But don't quote me because they could be a little bit more. I don't remember them being too much in price, but I will put the correct price either on the screen or in the description box, and or both. But it's the number 854, and it is the Makeup Sponge Duo. It's for applying and blending concealers, highlighters, contours, foundations, and powders. You will use the pointy end for coverage in hard to reach areas, so that's like around your nose, your eyes, and your lips, and the wider end to quickly cover cheeks, chin, and forehead. This could be applied both wet and dry, and today I'm just going to apply it dry because I want to see how they work dry. It says to wet your sponge when you want more of a sheer coverage. So this is what the sponges look like. So there are two that comes in the container, and they look like little eggs. They're quite big. So I'll bring that up to you. They're quite a good size. So I have my Becca, and this is a discontinued foundation, but I want to use it up because it's in my makeup arsenal, and I don't want to just have makeup sitting around and I don't use it. But I really like this foundation. I wish Becca hadn't discontinued this from their line. It's called the Radiant Skin Satin Finish Foundation, and the shade Tobacco. And this is what it looks like. And I remember I bought this off of Hot Look, and I remember when I got it, I was like, I tried it, I really enjoyed it. And I just wished that, I'm just going to shake it, make sure everything is moving around. I wish they hadn't discontinued this foundation because it works so well on my skin. Give that nice, I say like a nice glow, but enough coverage so it just makes my skin just looks really nice. So I put some on the back of my hand like so. So this is how much I have on, if you can see that. This is how much I have on there. So I'm going to use the big end of the sponge like this and start applying it to my skin to see if it gives me, and I'm just going to buff it in and see how well it does with covering. And it feels like really, it feels really soft but also really thick, and it does absorb a lot of the product, so you just want to be aware of that and move quickly. I always try to move quickly when I apply products. And I kind of see why they say to wet it, but I want the most coverage over my face. And I am a big fan of my Eco Tool sponge. That's what I really like. I like the Eco Tool blending sponge, and I also like using my e.l.f. like, it's a powder brush when I apply this. That's pretty much what I use. And I just go to town applying this on my face. So this is basically a first impression to see how this works. And I know it should be going, and I'll use the other smaller end once I get to my difficult areas that I want to cover, and then I'll flip over and show that, see how it works. And I'm not a person who uses sponges all the time either. Like, I tend to be somebody who use it when I need to use it, but I'm not a person who relies on sponges to get things done. I like a brush because I feel like when I use brushes, it gives me the greatest control of using the product. So when I use that, so I'm just going to use this small end now, and I'm just going to go around the lip region and try to buff that in. I'm going to go on my nose and use this. And it works really well to get into those small regions like it indicated, like around your eyes. But yeah, I like brushes because I can control how much is on the brush, how much product is around the brush. And sometimes it's hard to do with sponges, and sometimes sponges will take up and eat up a lot of the product, and you end up losing product. You don't end up saving product, you just end up like losing product. So now I'm going to flip it back over. So I already had used 3 pumps already to use as coverage. But I can still see, if I use a brush, I'll be able to cover up the pigmentation around my lips. Because I can still see some pigmentation. You know how some of the ladies can be, we tend to get hair around our lips that really shows itself really well, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So that's just part of grooming, and try to keep that part toned down as much as possible. But yeah, I was curious about these sponges because I thought it was such a good price for 2 sponges, and you can wash these and reuse them. So I thought that was so cool that it included 2 and not just 1 for that single price. So when you're done, when the first one is all busted and you can't use it no more and all that jazz, you can get rid of it. So that's pretty much what it looks like right now. Pretty much covered most of this area. And I think it does apply smoothly, though I still see some pigmentations here and there. But they're mostly like moles and stuff. And a little bit of pigmentation on my forehead. But maybe it has to be wet like it said and then go in. But if I don't want it to look sheer, which I don't, then I have to apply it dry, because otherwise the dampness can sometimes get rid of it, I would think. Am I right or wrong? Because then it looks sheer, and I wanted to at least look medium coverage. So when I feel like I've used probably like 4 to 5 pumps already to try to help maximize this look to look more full coverage. And I just bounced the product into my skin, like press, not like rub down, like press this stuff in. Otherwise it starts to look like You know, it could look streaky. So just want to press, press, press. And I'm going to add a little bit more around my lip area. Try to kick back some of that pigmentation. Which I don't particularly like that. There is pigmentation around the lip region. Because I like my skin to look very even all the way around. And because I don't have a quite even skin tone, because I have two different skin tones going on in my face, it can look like whatever. So that's pretty much what it looks like. I think it doesn't look bad at all. It looks really nice. But I just know if I had my brush, I can control it more. But it's not bad with using a sponge. And it's inexpensive. It's not something that you got to break the bank, especially off one sponge. So if you're just looking for a nice coverage and you're not looking for like a heavy duty, like full coverage, then this sponge I think would be really nice to use on your skin. But of course, if you're using a full coverage product, which I don't think this is a full coverage foundation. I want to think, yeah, it's a medium buildable coverage foundation. So it's just medium. It's not, if you were using a full coverage foundation, then this sponge will probably just cover up everything in your life on your face. So I just wanted to show you like a demo of using this sponge and my thoughts. So let me talk about my thoughts. So that's pretty much it. I think it's not really bad looking at all. So this is my thoughts. I think if you're somebody, again, who is looking for a more full coverage type of sponge to use, I think you can use this sponge for whether you're doing a light to medium coverage, also full coverage. But also, it's going to depend on your type of foundation you use. I think this sponge is good for liquid. I don't know how it will work with powder, because I know people do tend to use their sponges to apply their powders. You will have to do a little bit of research or just a little bit of trial and error to see if that will work for you. I'm not someone who uses a lot of like finishing powders and different things on my face after the foundation to set it. Sometimes I'll do it, and most of the time I don't. I just put my foundation on and I go. However, it may be able to apply powders, which it did say that. So it does apply and blend concealers, highlighter, contours, foundation, and powder. So you could use these with powder formulas and liquids and probably creams. So that's a good thing. So it is kind of like an all-in-one type sponge. And I also think that it feels really nice, feels really sturdy. This is how it looks right now. Hopefully all this will clean out once I'm done. But I feel like it gives a really nice coverage on my face. Again, it's buildable, so if you feel like, oh, my first layer isn't what I want something more, then continue to use the sponge. Just keep building like I did. Just keep applying more layers on it. And I think it gives a really natural look. Like, I like a really natural look. I don't like my foundation to look very, I would say cakey or too much layer. I like it to look very natural but very dewy and like a satin type look, or semi matte or demi matte, whatever the two terms interchangeably are depending on the brand. But if it's matte, just something that with a little matte to it, but not extremely matte. But I really like how it applies on my face. It looks, I would say it looks really nice on my skin. And even though I do still see my moles, that's fine. It's just how it is, because this is a medium foundation. It's not a foundation that is full coverage. And I don't have concealers to conceal any area that I may think is problematic. So that is my thoughts about the Sonia Kashuk latex free makeup sponge duo pack. So would I recommend this? I would say yes, I recommend it. It's really good. I know Sonia Kashuk makes really nice brush sets and individual brushes, so I'm not surprised about these sponges being good too. And again, it's really nice. You just want to take your time with it, explore it, see how it works for you, because everybody's preferences are different the way they use their sponges. So I hope you found this video helpful to you, and as always, thank you for watching and have a really great day. See you in my next video. Bye.